wanna get away, but I could use some company. If you're alone like me, we could go on a trip. Girl, I wanna see the...
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Where's My King Tonight. I am Ilyasa Simpson, aka Coach Illy, aka Minister Charge of the Charge Room Show. We are here. Yes. Why? Because it is Thursday. So take a moment to stop what you're doing, like our Facebook page, The Charge Room. Follow us on Instagram and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel called The Charge Room. Up in the top corner is our QR code for the website, The Charge Room. Stop by, take a look around, see what you like, and just act like you know. We are here for you to help you out and do what we need to do to get you from where you are to where you ought to be. Right. So again, tonight we are here with the men, and our topic for tonight is the importance of unification. How do we unify? How do we come together? Right. So we seem to have some division in our life of being a Black man. But I think it's, I feel and I know so that it's more so the Black race. However, we're just sharing our expressions tonight. We are sharing our experiences, and we're going to talk about the importance of unification. So, why do you think it's a challenge for Black men to unite and build, grow as a strong unit? Why are the Black men quick to argue, fuss, fight, or even kill each other? Do you think it's the Willie Lynch theory? Do you think it's the crabs in the barrel? How about colorism? Lack of trust, lack of support, lack of leadership, lack of respect. Is it Black on Black crime? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it on Where's My King tonight at the men's locker room. So I would like to introduce to you Dr. Jesse Harris and King Joshua. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you today?
Good evening. Good evening.
Hear me? Because I can't hear
Can you hear me?
I think my volume is low. Y'all said y'all can hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So again, we are here tonight to talk about unification of the Black man. And I want to introduce the both of you to this topic and to the Charge Room tonight. So again, welcome. So we're going to start with you, King Joshua, to place your thoughts on the platform.
Please. I think that this is something that was taught to us to hate each other. We were taught to separate. We were taught to divide. We was taught division. From the conception of slavery coming over here. What best way to separate a people? You know what I mean? You make division, you plant seed. You always tell one person, he's lighter, he's better, he's darker, all these different things. I remember as a youth, they used to smack the little real light-skinned guys, just see if they turn colors. See the red marks on their faces, or if they was real dark, they were ugly, and these are the things that were taught behaviors. And this generational, it's more so than anything else. These are taught behaviors that if you're a certain complexion, you're ugly. If you're a certain complexion, then you're beautiful, or whatever the case may be. We have been taught to be divided amongst ourselves. We have taught to say that if I'm in a certain situation, I'm better than you. And we're all dealing with the same things that's going on. We're all dealing with the same financial situation, same social situation, the same things that as the cops and everything else. But we were taught this through the Willie Lynch syndrome. The Willie Lynch syndrome was taught, to break slaves and to put the old black male against the young black male, the dark black male against the light-skinned black male, um, sons against fathers, mothers against daughters, brothers against brothers. We were taught this from the very beginning. And these are some of the things that we carry on through generations. Like a lot of people don't realize that we have what you call a post-traumatic slavery syndrome, where we
Mm-hmm.
carry a lot of stuff from slavery on because we're only been out of physical bondage almost 150 years. But dealing with sharecropping and everything else, we still carried it on. So we've been through three different stages of slavery. Now we're coming out of the mental slavery where the people are starting to wake up, but we're starting to recognize each other as brother and sister. These are the things that we have to get back to. We have to get back to the communal point of living. Whereas we, as a village, we raised our child together. There was no such thing as a single parent household at that point in time. Even if you know what I'm saying, was raised by your mom, you had a whole community that was supporting your mother or a whole
Mm-hmm.
community that was supporting your grandmother. So it wasn't like you was in a broken home. Now is projected whereas everybody wants that. Or you can't speak to my child, you can't discipline my child, you can't chastise my child. We have to get back whereas we become mothers and fathers of each other's children and have the
Mm-hmm.
children looking at each other as brothers and sisters, and that's my uncle, that's whatever the case may be. Because I remember my brother Laquan, his father, he was like one of the few on my block that had two-parent household growing up young. And his father was the father of the block. His father
Right.
was the pops of the block. So anything that went on, he checked us. You know what I mean? We wasn't outside doing a whole bunch of stuff. Even like when I got older and I moved down like on Babylon Turnpike, we had a whole communal situation. All the children on the block knew each other. All the families on the block knew each other. And there was nothing for one person to chastise your child or make sure your child was okay. These are the things that we must get back to unify, you know what I'm saying, us as people instead of sitting and bringing a distance, you know what I'm saying, between each other. We also will allow the smallest things to divide us. You're a Christian. I'm a Muslim. I'm a 5%er. I'm a Catholic. I'm a Israelite, or I work for the government. I'm a blue collar worker. Um, they live in low income housing. I live in a cul-de-sac. All these different things that we allow to separate us from the actual truth that we are all struggling with post traumatic slave syndrome. Peace, God. And this is the thing that we have to recognize, and we have to recognize it in our brotherhood. We have to recognize it in our relationship with our own women. We have to recognize it in our relationship with our children. And a lot of times we don't. We pacify it with alcoholism, we pacify it with drugs or whatever the case may be, and don't take the time to really recognize what is the root of the problem. How can we get to the root? If we can ever get to the root of the problem, then we'll be able to solve the lack of having brotherhood within our community. And that's my take
This
on
is
it.
true,
I didn't
true
want to take up the
indeed.
whole
Thank
time.
you so much for your
Peace. Peace.
thank you so much. And you made a lot of valid points, and I definitely agree with you on all of them. So
Peace.
let's pass the torch on to Dr. Jesse Harris.
Mhm.
Dr. Jesse, please enlighten us.
Uh, uh, Joshua Melvin hit everything. The king hit everything. I feel like I ain't got nothing left to say. I'm about to just go home. But some of the things that he hit on were very, very vital. You know that Sun Tzu in the Art of War said that one of the ways to defeat your enemy is to divide them.
Mhm.
And you don't divide them just
Yes.
you don't just divide them at the warrior level, you divide them at the family level.
Mhm.
Because if you dissipate that, you won the war. The war is over. And that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a systematic destruction of the Black family.
Mhm.
We have been destroyed as a family.
Mm-hmm.
Our women have been told that they don't need men. And a system has been developed that perpetuates that. You don't need him. We'll give you a check. You don't need him. We'll do this for you. We'll do that for you. What you need him for? You can do it all on your own. How are you going to have a family? And the thing is, how are you going to have that family unit if one of the members of that family unit, the most vital that we know of, right, is unnecessary? How'd that work out? The most primary is not necessary. If that's the case, then you don't have a family. If you don't have a family, you can't have a community. If you can't have a community, you can't have peace.
Right.
You can't. Because we're doing this all the time. And our young brothers, we got to get them to understand that everything, every altercation, every discussion, every heated discussion does not have to end with gunfire. Every disagreement, we can still love one another and disagree. There's nothing wrong with that. But we live in a society that perpetuates that glorifies that. You never hear, this is what I want to see. I want to see when I turn on the news, I want to hear about some young brothers doing something worthwhile. I don't want to hear about who shot who. I don't want to hear about who robbed what. I don't want to hear about none of that. Who went out of their way to help build somebody a house when their house burnt down? Who did this? We never hear about those stories. That also starts to mess with our mental. If you keep hearing these negative things about yourself day in, day out, you start to believe what you're told. Mm-hmm. And then you start to act it out. So in some way, we've got to get these young folks to understand that they are so much more than what the world perpetuates them to be. How in the world are we as royalty acting like the common folk? All them rich white folks in England, you don't never see them acting up like we act up. Never. Not at all. But look at us. Every time you turn around, I get tired. I just don't even watch the news anymore. That's how bad it is. If we want to get to where we need to be, we've got to do less of this and more of this. If you want to go from the Christian perspective, Paul said, I became all things to all men so I could talk to men of all walks of life. Facts. And we have to get to that point. I have to not care about the color of your skin, how many tattoos you have, how many piercings you have, what skin tone you have. What I should care about is that you are part of my family. You're part of my family. And I should treat you as such. And if we disagree, that's fine. Because I'm wrong sometimes. It's okay. And if you give me a minute, even though sometimes I'm grumpy like another young God that's here, he knows his name. I am. I'm grumpy. I'll tell it in a minute. If I think about it, I promise you, I will come back around and say, hey, man, I was wrong. I was wrong. As the day is, I apologize. That's another thing. We don't do that no more. I'm not telling you to say I'm sorry, but I apologize for what I said. However I perceive, whatever I perceive was wrong. We need to get to that point again. Because if I'm man enough to ball off my fist and punch it at you, I should be man enough to realize and recognize when I made a mistake. Just how it is. And if we can get a small starting of that, and we can get that to grow and get more and more folks to understand the wealth and the knowledge of who they are and what they should not be doing, then, brothers, we have something. Then, Queen, we have something. Okay,
absolutely. I agree with you 150%. King Father Wise, what season are you gonna put in our pot of chicken?
There he goes. He rubbing that beard. We in trouble now.
Really? Yo, I don't. I heard that, Kay. I heard that, right? I don't peace everybody. Father Wise, right? And oh man, I don't know if I can speak as eloquently as our two prior guests. I don't know if I can build on like that something.
We're just asking you to speak.
I understand. No, I gotta mess with my brothers. You know, one has 120, the other one has a PhD. I got a lot of BS, you know, so just trying to put it all together, right? Now, peace, y'all. Yeah, yo, you know what? I check this out, right? Damn, yo, man, you stepped on my foot.
I'm sorry.
Yo, who the think, what? Yo, the word is sorry. Yo, nigga, F you and your foot. Now what? Oh.
There you go.
Here we
That's
go.
That moment.
There we go. Now, I said that to say this, right? That moment that I just created right there, that's the lack of respect. That's it. And that's what we lacking. And here we go. I'm not going to sit up in here and even try to pretend none of that, right? I was that dude.
Right.
Plain and simple. I wouldn't care if you was young, old, dark skin, light skin. If you was in my way, you was in the way. To where I had it to go, to where I needed to be, to what I thought I needed to be, where I thought I needed to go. Right? Yo, I have no problem throwing hands any day of the week. Right? None. Win, lose, or draw. But you know what I found out over the years? Threw a lot of hands. And I may have won a lot of battles, but I lost a lot of wars. Right? And I got a lot of scars and stuff to show for it. And not just the physical scars, but the mental scars. I listen. How we got, and y'all all touched. I'm listening to y'all touched on something, man. And my whole thing is, I think like you all said, it start at home. Like, yo, we are check this out, man. Start with us. I don't like that term. It always starts and ends with us, or starts and ends with y'all. I don't think everything is piled up on us like that. But I know it starts with this. Gotta have knowledge. Knowledge is the foundation of all things that exist. Check this out. Just like just like the sun is the foundation of the solar system, and just like the Asiatic black man is the foundation of his family. Right? Plain and simple. We're the ones that teach, and we're the ones that preach, and we're the ones that do all. I say, and now we have to instill those same values, same thing. We go with me and Josh Mel was talking about the other day. Like you got to go to knowledge to born every day and back, every day. We got to zig through these times, and we got to get some other time. We got to zigzag through these, and then we got to take our people to zigzag through this. Like our lessons. So like if I die tomorrow, everything that I am is instilled in my children. Right? My children know. Yo, we don't like nobody because your skin color. We don't like we don't like you because you stupid. I don't care what color you are. Period.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Right. Plain and simple. I'm just looking at this young, Josh Mel said it, man. These young cats don't respect us older cats. And then like us older cats got so much things to lose nowadays, and families and grandchildren and people that are looking to take care of us. These that we have to take care of. These young cats don't have that. They don't have that. Not saying they all don't, but they don't have that what we was instilled with. You know, nowadays, go out in the backyard and get that switch off the tree. You know which one, and don't bring no little one in here and leave those 3 leaves on the top. You know what I'm talking about. You tell a kid these days, go outside and pick. They get ready to get on the phone and call the police.
True.
I never forget that tried that crap one time. I'm calling the police. My father said, and when they get here, I'm gonna whoop their ass too. And I was like, well, damn. Okay, well, we won't be doing that, right? You know, and I'm just saying we all have to get to these. And it's sad. It's sad to me that, you know what, when when I got this, when the light bulb came on? When I was 36 years old. That's when the light bulb came on. And I'm like, damn. It took me, I went to a party when I was 14 and didn't come home till I was 36. And now that the light bulb is on, I'm on and I'm trying to keep marching on and I'm trying to do stuff with these young cats, man. Like, simple, like a simple task as going into the corner store could become an issue. Excuse me, young bro. Your bike is in the way. Kind of, yo, wait till I effing move. Then I'm like, yo, like, excuse me? Like, see now, and here's the thing. Young against old, old against young. Yo, I was always taught to be them older cats in my neighborhood, the Mickey Buchanans, the Travis Eastons, the June Bakers, the all the older guys in my neighborhood, the Tom.
Volume went up.
And it's like you have to respect your elders, man. That's the only way you're gonna learn how to do anything these days. But these young cats don't do it because these are our leftover. Their parents were smoking crack, so these kids grew up raising themselves, and all they had was the streets because daddy was in jail, mama's smoking crack, and or vice versa, and they raised themselves. So they had to fend for themselves. So everything is a battle to them. They don't know that next $5 they get, that's for Chinese food. That's for dinner tonight. And if anybody tries to get that from me, it's a problem.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that we have to grow a little bit older before we start recognizing all of this stuff here. It's a shame. But some of us have to go through this stuff in order to get to where we are. Would I change anything about what I've been through? Right? Somebody asked me that. Would I change anything that happened in my life that put me in this position right here? Would I take that first drink? Would I take that first hit of crack again? Would I do a whole bunch of stuff? Right? You want to know the answer? Yes. I would do it all over again in the same skin, in the same everything. You want to know why? Because all of that love, hell, everything. Sorry, call you right back. All that love, hell, and everything put me right to where I am right now. And I would not change the man who I am right now. Because if I went back then and did it over, I wouldn't be who I am today. So I'm right here and I'm going on and I'm moving on and I'm building on. I'm building and destroying every chance I get. I'm doing what I can do to be a better me so I can be a better influence, a better teacher, a better mentor, a better like this is who I am right here. And it's all because of all these past circumstances, man. And I just want these young cats to understand that everything out here, this whole world is built on, which a lot of the world is sold out and lost because of money, because of nobody. It's only a very few people that have integrity. There's a very few people that do the right thing even when nobody's looking, right? And we got to get back to that. We got to get back to, I know people, this is everyday people. Like, it ain't just everyday people. Who files their taxes and absolutely tells the truth? 100% absolutely. Yeah, right? And this is the type of stuff, and this is where it starts from. Little things like that. Little things. It's just we gotta get back to some integrity. And I'm gonna end with this, right? I just want y'all to hear me on this right here, right? And this goes out. This I want you to hear this too, Queen, because I was just thinking about this the other day, right? Yo, I'm a strong black man, and I don't need no woman. Look at y'all. You see how stupid that sound? Did y'all hear how stupid that sound? That was the absolute dumbest thing I've ever said in my life. But women say it every day. Don't realizing how
And
stupid.
men say it too.
Nah, I never said I'm a strong black woman. You'll never hear me.
I had a few tell me that.
You'll never hear me say I'm a strong black
me
woman. All right, well, they strong black women. Okay, well, that's more power to them. But I ain't no strong black woman. Like, so I'm just saying. But you just realize, like, you'll never hear, like, this is how they get us, man. And one of my absolute favorite parts in Roots, Kunta Kinte and Fiddler was sitting near the tree, and Kunta said, "I'm a man. I don't need nobody." Fiddler told him, and that's just what they want, to keep you separated from everybody. A man who doesn't have a woman, who doesn't have a family, a man who's just by himself is easy to conquer. It's easy to control. Period. When you have people that's under you and you have to make decisions and you looking out for the best of their welfare, you're not worried about you no more. You're worried about them. So now your decision process, your decision making is different. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Thank you. King KY.
Come on, Barry. Come on, Barry. Yo.
First of all, everybody here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dark Gable.
Dark.
Someone's is on.
That's Donnelly, as always.
No, it's not.
It ain't me.
No, it's not.
All right,
Everybody mute except for Russ. Okay, go. Okay.
First of all, let me say peace to all human families on the planet Earth, to my family right here, to the nation of gods and earths. Peace, Queen. I want to apologize for coming on late, but I said I was going to make it, and was nothing going to stop me from making it on this platform tonight. So I'm not going to hold you long, because basically from everything that I've heard is almost like an echo. But I will say this: to be absent from the mind is to be totally decimated from the body. And for every cause, there is an effect. We have to establish what is what in order to combat what we see daily, what we know. When you know what you know and you know it's right, when you watch that wrongness being done, you have nothing to say about it or do about it, you might as well just be on that same link with the guilty in certain ways. You know what I'm saying? It's a shame. It is a shame that we, as the black man of this earth, have to fight the greatest person in our lives. And it ain't the white man. We too busy fighting our greater self. We're fighting our greater selves when we know, and here's the key word, is knowing what's right and what's wrong. We can sit up here all day long and keep blaming the white man. Blaming the white man. I can't get a job because the white man holding me down. I can't find no woman because the white man taking all the women. I can't. That's a bunch of bullcrap excuses for you to become a latchkey worm to me. You being a leech to latch on to whatever you can and ride off and be a bloodsucker to the next woman. You understand? And instead of you doing what you got to do as a man and be upright about yourself and be strong, we have to work together. We got to unify, especially in this land and in this wilderness we live in. This is the most diversified, divided. Ain't nothing united in the United States of America. Nothing. If we was united, we wouldn't have borders and separation to say what state is this or that and that. We wouldn't have separate laws for the separate states that govern the same thing and give us all differences. We as black men have to unite. We are losing the battle within ourselves. If I got to look at you sideways just because you're looking at me wrong, I think I got the issue. Because I don't know, your mouth could be shaped that way. You could have had a stroke or something, and I'm looking at you like you looking at me like, yo, what's up? And something could be wrong with you, but I'm taking the interpretation and giving my own negative thought about what your face expression look like. Now I'm ready to smash you on sight. That's ignorance. That's lack of intelligence. You know, we don't try to understand what's going on with one another. Yeah, we're fighting a losing battle. I ain't gonna say we're losing battle, fighting a losing battle, but we are losing our youth. We are losing our youth to the streets. We are losing our youth to the corruption in the laws that's being made. We're losing our children to a lot of things that they have a lack of understanding about, when the truth is right out here for them to see. And if they don't want it, they don't feel like they got to take that time. We have to be those true educators, like we had the educators of our time. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the storefront, the porch. Well, I'm trying to remember the word, Jesse. Storefront preachers. They used to be on the corners. You know what I mean? Preaching, soapbox preachers, preaching the word out there to the youth. We don't see too many. We don't even see too many Nation of Islam brothers out on the street no more. All right, I can tell you that right here where I'm at in North Carolina, and there's Martin Luther King. And I hate to say this, but Martin Luther King, the name Martin Luther King Boulevard, Street, Avenue, corner, whatever you call it, got more corruption on it than any other streets in the world. And that's a shame, because they putting that side of Martin Luther King on in the ghettos, and we just don't have an understanding of unifying of truth of what these brothers fought for, what they fought for. Okay, we have to be the leaders. We got to be the examples. I'm ready to live to die for the cause. I love my black people. I love my black brothers. We have been through a lot of hard times, but yet if we still want to be significant, we have to come together. We got to get rid of the four devil heads. We got to get that out of our system. You see, when we allow money to interplay in a lot of our courses and actions and wills, we see a division. Oh, he think he better than me because he got this more money than me. So now let's pool our stuff together. Let's talk about it. Let's see what we can do. Sit down and do the knowledge. Let's put a blueprint out and see where we can go. Not where I go and then you be like, well, I don't want to do that until I know you made it. No, just listen. That risk factor is something that we both going to get into, and if we fall short of it, then we understand we go back to the drawing board as something to say, hey, you know what? This is what we may have done wrong. So let's go ahead and do it right this time and pool in our resources. You know, the same thing as I'm going up that ladder and I'm climbing, I'm passing all these other people. Sometimes when I get to the top of the ladder, I got to come down. I got to come down. When I'm coming down, guess what? I'm seeing them same people, if they haven't moved up to the next step to pass me, or they falling down back or grabbing me to pull me down like crabs in a barrel because they don't want to see me succeed. You got a lot of people that talk that talk, but when they don't walk that walk, they walk backwards. They want to be those backstabbers, you know. And we got to kill that, man. We got to kill it. We are hurting ourselves mostly because all the things like Josh Mel, Father Wise, Reverend Jesse put out so many negative things that we have done within each other of our lives, that now we're the OGs now that see these things. And then now we seeing the new generation. We're like, some of us are like, man, I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. But you need to, because that's us. That's us. I got a nephew right now that's going through some trials and tribulations within himself. But I'm not turning my back on him. His father ain't turning his back on him. His mother ain't turning his back on him. His family's not going to turn his back on him. He'll have to turn his back on himself. And if he turns his back on himself, then we understand, because he made that decision. But he has to know, but he also knows that he has the support of his family when he needs. And that's what we have to show him, to love all our children, all our people, man, all of us. It's a sad day. It could be a good day. We just have to make it an everlasting time. Because the moment we all get together, and we know this, we see this, and this is part of the devil's plan anyway. The moment he sees 5 brothers gather around, it's an issue with them. Because they don't know what we talking about. They don't know what we planning. We could be talking about a barbecue. Who's going to bring this? Who's money that? But because we gathered around and they on the outside looking in, it looks like trouble. Why? Because of the color of our skin. Instead of looking at, try to get the character of the mind, know the mindset of what's going on. We could be talking about building a bank, a building, and creating jobs for others. You know, we talking entrepreneurship, but you want to come up there and say, hey, I want to see, you know, you want to throw the blue cats on us. And now here they come with a false idea because you don't call them with a false interpretation. So first thing they doing, they already got their hands on their side. They're not going to ask too many questions other than what y'all gather here for. But I'm just saying, man, unification, understanding is the best part. Unification. And I'm even like this because there's a lot of wisdom out here that I've been listening to, and I'm going to gravitate more on it. Peace.
Thank you so much. King Donley, are you going to bless us with your wait a minute.
You broke up. Say it again.
You're
Can you
muted.
hear me?
You're
No,
muted. I said you were muted.
not now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
All right. Well, sorry for my lateness. No, I got this new job, so my time is a little different now. But I had off today, so I was sitting there. I was like, "Oh, I'm missing something. I can get on." I just give me a little short rendering of what this whole thing. I kind of got by listening. But give me a little short rundown so I can properly address this conversation.
Absolutely. We're talking about the importance of unification. Why is it a challenge for Black men to unite, build, grow as a strong unit?
That's
Why
all I
are
need.
Black
Right
men quick to fuss
That's
and
all I
fight
need, right?
or kill each other?
That's all I need right there.
Okay, go ahead.
The majority of us are of mature age, and I'm gonna go back where everybody was fly. We could have the same thing on, but nobody hating each other. I don't know where it turned out to where someone thought that I might have been better than them because my sheepskin was a different color. Era I grew up in, if you wasn't fly, hey, listen, you can borrow mine. We go to this party fly together. Somewhere down the line, one person or the devil got to one person and it spread it like a cancer. Now, all of a sudden, instead of us getting together and making sure everybody was straight, that one apple can spoil a whole batch. Now, I'm going to go back. I'm going to do a little thing, you know what I'm saying? Hustling wise, it was enough for everybody to do what they had to do. It only takes one person to spread that cancer around to defeat us being unified. Now, if you're strong enough to override that one person that was insecure with himself, so he tried to spoil everybody's fun and everybody bonding and getting together, because at one time, if you had it, I didn't, we both had it. I'm still the same way. You come visit me in Maryland, your money ain't no good, your car sits still, I got it. Somewhere down the line, someone got poisoned with the mentality of it only takes one sentence or one word that can change you if you don't have that strong mindset. See, that's where it comes from. Either you can ride with me They always said two heads are better than one. There's always that one that's always, man, I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody. Like Father Wise said, females to me, I don't need no good man. Everybody needs someone. That's what unification is. You can't unify by yourself. Like they say, Father Wise to tell me, K Wise, family, church, all day, every day. That's what he was raised on. They still do the same thing. Church is what? Two or more people. Am I correct? It doesn't matter where it's at. It doesn't have to be in the house, to be outside. It's unification. I don't know where we lost it, but some of us just got fed up and, got tired. That's where we go wrong. We can get fed up. Because I tell you, them people out there trying to defeat us, even when we win, they don't give up. They constantly trying to split us up every chance they get. But we get tired. Like, man, I'm tired of fighting this thing. I'm tired of Martin Luther King fought for it. Malcolm X fought for it. Elijah Muhammad fought for it. Everybody fought for it. And we still get discouraged because why? Once we unify and stick to that unification, we can't be beat. It's the drifters that cause us to get defeated. And when the drifters go, people are like, man, well, why am I doing it? Why am I doing it? That's that following rule. That's the domino effect. Once we get in our mind that the domino effect is only on us, and like KY said, it comes with the person in the mirror. How far are you willing to go to keep this unification going? Glue is only as weak as gap. If there's a gap in the glue, there's wiggle room. We can't get no wiggle room. We don't have time for wiggle room. But growing up, what I saw wasn't no wiggle room. They didn't allow wiggle room. They made sure, whether they was next door, across the street, 2 towns over, or in the city, the unification was there. That's why we was able to get where we at now. But now we're going backwards because unification has been lost in the alphabet, in the dictionary, in the household. Everything unification-wise is lost now. Everybody's for themselves. But they expect it to be the same. That's like the old saying, you keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, you insane. And to not try to unify and stick together, to me, is insane. I hear brothers talking, I hear people talking, and I just watch people, and I'm like, you know what? The reason why is because you're the same person over here talking about unification, but as soon as you get somewhere else, you didn't went way, you did a 180 compared to what you were saying over here. So when people see that, I'm not going to trust you now. Unification has to do with trust. We can't unify. We don't trust each other. That's a big issue. You can say one thing. That's what I say about fronting people. You can't front 24/7 because it's bound to leak out. Somebody go catch you fronting. Now that unification that we thought we had, you fronted. Now I got to gas you up and leave you to the side. Now guess what? That's a gap. That circle is now it's a gap. We got to be honest and true to ourselves before we can be honest and true to another person in order to be unified. That's that. I'm done.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for seasoning our pot tonight. So as I'm listening to all of you kings, I am very appreciative of what you deposited into this universe. We heard of the Willie Lynch theory. That was in 1712, y'all. in 1712. This is 2021, and we are still going through the same thing. There's something going on. So, post-traumatic stress is a diagnosis. And then when you add slave syndrome onto it, even though it's considered one diagnosis, but it's really two wrapped up in one. When we talk about the art of war and to divide each other, the systematic destruction of the family, and they're letting us know you don't need the main seed to help you grow. The government will give you a check for that seed. You could throw that seed in the garbage. So we're going from 1712. Now we're moving on up years after slavery. And they're giving us a check for our men. They want us to trade. Right? They want us to trade and break up our families to sell us
for $1,200. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not even $1,200. It's not even $1,200 unless the Social Security check that's like $786.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Queen, but you hit a point that I had a conversation with someone the other day, and the subject was the stimulus check. I said, okay, how about you leave that stimulus check there? You come help me fix these 3 vehicles and make some money. Why am I gonna do that? The government ain't give you nothing. The government is setting you up. They gonna want their money back sooner or later. See, did you see what I just said about us sticking together? I'm willing to split my money with you. Put that money over there. Don't even take it. Give it to them. I'm gonna hit you over here. But you see, that type of Willie Bobo, I call it, is I'm gonna get it the quick way. But you getting the quick way from someone that's trying to separate. I'm trying to help you build with me. See what I'm saying? I'm willing to share mine with you, trying to give you a jewel to think on and help you grow and build something where you can do it yourself. But like they do, they fish with us. They give us that. There's somebody out there, or there's someone out there that think like that. That's where the unification is broken. Come on, man. We got to think the same way.
The mentality of a person.
Everything has a price.
Absolutely.
Has a price. You gonna pay sooner or later. I don't want to owe you nothing. So I'm glad I don't qualify for that. I didn't want it anyway. I got one. My wife said, "What you want to do with it?" I said, "Send that shit back." So excuse my French. Send it back. I don't want it. Well, what? Send it back. Return the sender. I don't live here. Send it back. I don't want it. Because sooner or later, I'm gonna get something in the mail stating, "Well, you know, you behind on what?" Well, you didn't give me nothing because I ain't taking. I didn't sign for nothing. I don't want nothing. These little other people I'm waiting for that check. Trust and behold, like this gas situation. Ain't nothing wrong with the gas. They raised the prices so we, as individuals, can say, "Oh, get all the gas you want." For now, it's like $4 more than what it is. It's all a system.
So they could capitalize.
Control.
Absolutely.
Capitalize, control, and conceit. It's all deceit, no matter how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how you spell it. It ain't made for us, especially us. You know, everybody knows they ain't giving us nothing. They ain't never gave us nothing. We still waiting on 40 acres and a mule. We will never see it.
So I just feel that again, you all brought up really great points. So the lack, let's talk about the lack. It's lack of belief, lack of humility, lack of family, lack of love, lack of respect, lack of integrity, lack of education, lack of insecurities, lack of trust. And then that last one I'm going to add on is the lack of that mentality that you need to come together to really identify and to be aware and to be accountable for. Because if a person, again, just how you all eloquently broke down that each part of our life, we are separated by all of these points. So as that's happening, again, everything is ripped off, like you're ripping, like what do you call it? That Brillo pad, that steel wool, and you start ripping and ripping and ripping and ripping, and you'll rip to the point where you'll just have nothing but dust. You won't have anything left, right? So when that happens, that's where we're at right now. They rip us apart so much. We're just dust particles lingering around in the air. And then to add all the lacks, anything that a person needs to do to unify, you must have trust on the platform. You must have trust. So a lack of trust kills everything. I don't want to trust you. So whether a person has insecurities, that's going to increase the insecurities to a point of no return because there's no trust. So you're always going to be suspicion to another person that's trying to unify. Why should I do that? What makes you special? Because they lack. They don't care at that particular point. They don't want to bond with you because they lack. So they're not thinking, oh, I know this, so I need to be accountable. How about they turned their cheek? They turned to blind their eyes. They even turned to smell the aroma to unify, right? So as that's happening, just like you said, everybody's in their own corner. Why should we come together? Everybody's in their own corner. So, men, all of y'all, again, y'all spoke. Men should lead. And then you teach others how to lead. You have to instill value. And you have to go through the process to see your progress. However, people are not patient enough, even with themselves, to allow process to happen. They feel that they must skip the process. You can't skip the process. That's where that mentality comes in at, where you need to identify, well, is this really me? No, it's not me, it's you. That's when you start blaming others for your stuff that you do not want to take accountability for, that you turned your blind eye so that it's natural to, let me just skip this and look this over. This is not for me. That's your problem. So if the good is happening, just like you said with the stimulus checks, oh, the good is happening. Okay, so what about when that check gone? What you gonna do next week? What you gonna do tomorrow? You're back at square one, waiting for that government check, not wanting to build with somebody that's trying to teach you a trade and give you extra money consistently all time, over time, so you can build and build yourself and build your family and build your community, right? The question is what we're going to do about it, Kings. What we're going to do about it. So if we know this as a people, what are we going to do about it? Where's the solution? We already put all the seasoning in the pot. It's there. So what's the solution? How do we talking about from 1712? What's the solution? Where can we go from here? How about this? What part could we play? That's why I was strongly encouraging the mentorship program, because we could be a start. We could be a start of a newness, a new mindset, a new level of mentality. So we have to get together and figure out what role could we play? How can we collaborate with other people around the United States to start events in different areas and just grow this thing? Again, 1712. They taught us how to have each group against each other. This one has fine hair. This one has nappy hair. These are the dark skin. These are the light skin, to break us down like they break down horses. How can we grow from this? So I thank everyone for coming on tonight. And you know, this is not done for me, because I'm about solution. So we're going to have something that we're going to come together so we can start breaking ground on some solutions. So if everyone has thoughts, we got to come up with solutions, not just talk about it. I said, you can't just talk the talk without walking the walk, right? So I'm all about walking the walk. So thank you guys, gentlemen, kings, for coming on. I appreciate everyone that came on and that had to leave us tonight. I'm glad we had a full house tonight. It's definitely great to see everyone. Awesome to see you, Dr. Jesse and King Darnley. I haven't seen y'all in a long time, so it was definitely a pleasure. So I thank you again for coming on. So I just want to speak on to everybody to thank you for your support. We are coming up on like 8 months strong. Starting this platform, it has growth has been incredible, and I'm so grateful that God has placed in me the tenacity to build and keep building, because I know better, I want to do better. Because I get educated, I want to pass on education to others. I want to share information to others, because it's about us being better, right? And at the end of the day, if we have so much lack that we talked about, lacking belief, lacking humility, lacking love, respect, integrity, lacking education, and you're being insecure and you lacking trust, we got a lot of work to do, y'all. And at the end of the day, it all starts with us. We have to look in the mirror and see who we are and what role do we play. Do we look at each other and say, I don't like her because she's dark skinned. I don't like her because she wears braids. I don't like her because she's not a size 4. What role are you playing? I only associate with this tone of skin. I only associate if they live in this particular type of home or drive that particular type of car. At the end of the day, it's the love in our hearts that carries us from day to day. We have to lead with love. We have to lead with love that gets us to trust, that gives us to respect one another. And if we love ourselves, it's easier to love others. So again, I want to thank you for coming on, for supporting us. I appreciate you week after week, and I can't wait to see you again next week. So again, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube. And we'll see you next week. Have a great day.
I wanna get away.